Hello everyone and welcome back to Chris's collection and well, here we go, Gears of War Judgment. So before I get into this game and all that, let's go back to like this time frame. It was 2013. We knew that PS4 and Xbox One were right around the corner, and you know, the last generation with, I know we're about to start the new generation, but last generation, you know, with PS3 and Xbox 360, it lasted a very long time. Like, it lasted longer than PS2, it lasted longer than OG Xbox. You know, Xbox 360 came out in 2005. 8 freaking years later, in 2013, the Xbox One came out, as opposed to Xbox that came out in 2001, and then 4 years later, Xbox 360 came out. So, you know, this generation was taking a lot longer. So, like I mentioned in the last couple of episodes of Gears, with like the trilogy and stuff like that, you know, everyone wanted a trilogy. Everyone does trilogies. So like Gears of War 1 would come out, Gears of War 2 would come out, Gears of War 3 would come out, and then normally, you know, you move on to like the next gen stuff. You know, same thing happened with PS1. Crash 1, 2, and 3 came out. Naughty Dog had extra time. They did a 4th game for fun or whatever, and it was you know, Warped, or not Warped, sorry, the racing one. Crash Kart Racing, and
whatever it was, it looked like it was
and like whatever, that's how it was, you know. You just do like a fun little game, but like here, you know, with 360, they were, or with also, you know, because God of War Ascension, good God, that's not the best God of War game. You know, even Sony did it, everyone did it, where it was just kind of like, oh man, we need to make another game. What do we do? Let's make like a prequel, not spin-off, but like kind of, we have fun with it, you know? Like, we do whatever we want kind of thing. And they did. This was like an experimental game. It was a prequel, so it didn't impede on anything with Marcus or anything, or Dom and shit. And they would just have fun, you know?
Nothing like what?
Here we go.
Lieutenant?
Like,
Nothing like Karn, sir.
you know, they're like, here you go. It's a game where you can alter the gameplay based on the testimonials of these characters, which is kind of funny. But I don't know. I just felt like this game, I didn't give a shit about it. Like, I was just ready for... I think I was ready for next gen. I was just kind of like, you know, I think we're done here. And these companies were not. And so they just decided, well, let's keep going. You know, let's see what we can do. Let's try to get out some games here that don't, you know, reinvent the wheel, really, but whatever. Like, you know, they were probably thinking it's a Gears game. Look, you got the chainsaw, blah blah blah. But it just wasn't special, you know. And the same, we'll get to God of War Ascension later when we get to PS3, but you know, the same was there, and I don't know. It was just like a very odd thing. And then eventually, you know, things would move on. So, like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't really impressed when this game was announced. I remember being like, okay, whatever, you know, I'll probably buy it because it's a prequel, and I'm a big fan of the series, and I like to know, you know, like the full story, and I'll probably do it chronologically and shit like that for future playthroughs, because that's how I roll. And so it came out, and I pre-ordered at GameStop, bought it, and this was like 2013. This was like right before everything was about to change in my life, before I was about to move out, and this was kind of like a shitty time for me, where I was in an internship that I hated. Like, I've mentioned this before, I think in the Dead Rising videos and shit. But yeah, so the point is, I don't think it was the state I was in either, because I'm mentioning him again, but my friend Admin, he agrees, like, this game just sucked. You know, he's like, yeah man, it fucking flew. Like, Judgment was just not the Gears game we needed at the time. Even if they were, you know, just stalling for time or whatever. It just wasn't fun, you know? It wasn't what we wanted. But, whatever, it is what it is. They never tried to say it was anything else. This game never promoted itself to be, like, Gears 4 or whatever. And, you know, ultimately it is more Gears, right? So it can't be that bad. It's more Gears of War, and, you know. Just, I guess, if you compare it to, like, the OG games. Shit, they even included OG Gears. Just to be like, look, here's Gears, okay? Here's the first one, if you haven't bought it yet. Which was just kind of like, who the fuck's gonna buy this game and not have played? I guess, well, no, I guess if you had never played Gears, someone could buy you this and be like, hey man, it also includes Gears 1. You know, and then you could choose, it's like the Star Wars, you can choose if you want to go prequel route, chronological order, if you want to go OG trilogy. Which, in my opinion, just go OG trilogy in this game's case. But, anyway, alright guys, that's gonna be it. Gears Judgment, I mean, I don't know, I don't think we'll ever get a game like that again, at least for a while. I don't know, I guess, well, Gears Tactics, I haven't played it yet. I know it's on PC at the time of this recording, and whatever, I guess that's its own thing. I don't know. Alright guys, well, we'll be back later this week with, that's it for Gears on 360. We'll revisit Gears eventually, whenever I cover Xbox One. I'll cover that at one point, you know, because that's about to become a quote-unquote past console that I could start covering. But, yeah, I guess until then, yeah, we'll just, keep going through the 360s, and, next up we got something that is not Gears related. It's the, like, middle ground before we get to Guitar Hero. Alright guys, I'll see you later this week. Take care.